So I just want to say before I get this video started that I have a relatively new phone, and the girl at the store was like, oh, you're still going to be finding new things in 6 months that you can do with this phone. And I'm like, yeah, right. How different can it be from the old one? So I'm trying to set the timer to take a picture for a thumbnail, and I want to take a picture like this. So I'm like looking at the camera and deciding how I want to put my hands, whatever, because I want it to be like I have a book on either palm or whatever, right? So I go like this to the phone, and the phone takes a picture. But I want the picture to be like this. So I'm doing this to the phone, and it's taking another picture. And I'm like this instead, and it's taking another picture. So neat little feature of my phone, but I just want a picture like this. They don't want 40,000 pictures like this. So I'm going to be spending the next like 15 minutes cleaning out really crappy pictures of me going like, what? From my gallery, because I just wanted, you know, one picture like this and maybe one picture like this, one like this, just so I could, you know, hold a couple books for a thumbnail. So that was it. That's my something new I learned today. I got it out of the way early. Hi guys, it's Ray. I just wanted to hop in real quick and do a little like mini booktube vlog about some of what I consider to be lighter reading. Good summer reads, just lighthearted, fun stuff. I do most of my reading on Kindle Unlimited. I am switching back to books for this vlog, which has been an interesting transition because I am so not used to reading an actual, you know, book made of paper that you have to stop and turn the pages if you're doing something else while you're reading. Normally I can just like hit the phone with my knuckle even if I'm painting or whatever. So it's been an interesting transition. I'm only going to read a couple books a month that are paper though, so I'll get through it. So I do most of my reading on Kindle, and I found a ton of series that I really enjoyed, and some of those series are heavier reading, I would consider, and some of it is just really light, fun stuff. Like, even if it says it's a mystery, it's not so much a mystery. Technically, it has mystery in it, but it's still fun, lighthearted reading. So I'm just going to go through a couple of authors quick, and a couple of series. So first I'm going to touch on a couple of romance series. After I've been reading like mystery, horror, psychological thriller, I usually break it up with a couple of like quick read, light romance books in between, just to give my mind a break and something I can get through quick and easy. So I found Kelly Collins on Kindle Unlimited. I had never read her before, never even heard of her. I think she's written like 80-something books. I think I've read or started 4 series at least, and a bunch of standalones, and but I have 2 favorite series by her at the moment, and I just finished book 4 of the second series that I'm going to mention this morning, so it was fresh in my head to do this quick. But the first series I'm going to touch on, the longest running one I've read, maybe the longest running one she's written, I don't know, I haven't read everything yet. The Aspen Cove Small Town Romance series. It's obviously set in Aspen Cove. We start with book 1, which is 100 Reasons, and we get to Aspen Cove from Sage Nichols. She has a job that she ends up getting fired from. Somebody she knew from that job gives her a B&B in Aspen Cove. So Sage makes the move there to check out this B&B, see what the town's all about, get a fresh start. So this is how we get to Aspen Cove. I'm kind of trying to not spoil anything, so I don't want to tell you what Sage did or who left it to her, things like that. Read it, you'll see this character will be developed through other characters going forward. This is one of those series that is definitely not, you could read them as standalones, but you're gonna trip over things. So read them in order, because as you get introduced to more and more characters, you still get caught up on past characters. They still interact and play throughout. That's my preferred type of series. Like, I like when you're on book 9 and they give you a little update on something that you read about in book 1 or a character you met in book 1. I like that kind of series where this is a new book, but I'm still getting caught up on everybody else I've already met. So I really enjoy this series. If you need some light reading and you haven't read them yet, or you haven't met her, definitely check these out. So that is the Aspen Cove Small Town Romance series. I believe book 17 is the most recent one that has been released. I think 18 is scheduled for sometime this summer, if I recall correctly. They are available on Kindle Unlimited, as far as I know, all of them. So that makes it nice. If you already have Kindle Unlimited, you can like start them and just binge all the way through them. So the next series that I just finished, the most recent one of this morning, only has 4 books so far. Book 5 is scheduled again sometime this summer. That is the Recipe for Love series. The Recipe for Love series is, it's another intertwining book, but not as much as some of the others. They're all individual stories, but they all revolve around the same group of people. You'll hear them talking to each other throughout the series. So we first get a tablespoon of Temptation would be book 1, where the main character gets a box of books at a flea market or something, and there is a recipe book in it. And the current holder of the book is tasked with choosing one recipe from the book and perfecting it. And supposedly, you'll find love once you've perfected this recipe. So, and after you've perfected your recipe, you pass the book along to the next person you feel that needs it. So we not only follow the book, but we follow the characters. And obviously at the end, we know who the book's going to next. So we know who our next story is going to be about. But they're just cute, very light. You know, of course, it's not a straightforward romance. Of course, there's going to be struggles and things for these couples to get together. But I, again, really enjoy this series when I just need something light to read. So when a new one pops up, I get pretty happy about it, and I get it in my queue of things to grab when I need something a bit lighter. So those are the 2 from Kelly Collins I'm going to touch on. Like I said, I have started a couple more. I think there's one called Fraser Falls, and I don't think I'm caught up on the rest of the series I'm reading from her, but I'll figure out where I'm at and I'll get there. The Kindle does tell you like what's coming next on series you've been reading, so that's really nice that it kind of keeps track for you. When you're looking for something to read, if you don't have anything already queued up, you can just go to that section and it'll tell you. Kindle's really good about getting to know your reading habits and actually suggesting another series. Like if it sees you're reading a ton of series, it'll start suggesting series similar to series you already read. So I've actually found some really good reading that way. So I do really like that feature of the Kindle Unlimited. So that's all I'm going to mention for romance. Those are light romance. They don't have great big sex scenes or, you know, I mean, mild stuff. It's not anything hard. So the next series I'm going to touch on is one of those. We're going to call it a mystery series, but it is the Florida Keys mystery series. The first book is Crazy in Paradise. I think we're on book 23. I think book 24 is scheduled, but this series revolves around Madison Weston. Madison has inherited a house on the beach from her great aunt, and she has also inherited some cottages from her great aunt. And the cottage comes with some zany tenants, and we meet them and learn their crazy ways. We learn that her aunt ran her whole life on this crazy IOU system, and all of those IOUs have transferred to Madison, but Madison builds a cast of characters throughout these books at a rapid pace. She ends up with a best friend, and I don't want to spoil it. Some people have a hard time getting into these in the beginning, but if you hang with it, once you get going, you'll breeze through them, and they're fun. Just seeing the trouble they get into, because it's a different kind of trouble each story, and definitely start at the beginning again so you can start learning everybody as you go. They're just a wild ride. They're a lot of snarky humor. They're little mysteries that are built in. Each book has like a mystery, but it's not like an FBI thriller mystery, edge of your seat. It's kind of a little like light humorous mystery slash romance mixed in slash comedy. But they're definitely a fun little read. I think they are all on Kindle Unlimited as well. So again, if you have that, and usually if you have Amazon Prime, a lot of the unlimited books are in the Prime reading program too, so you could probably get them either way. And I am going to put links to Amazon. I'm not sure if it's going to link them to a physical book or Kindle or a combination, like where you would pick your platform. But I'm going to put links down below to all of these series, so you don't have to try and remember what I said here. So definitely check out Madison and her zany crew, because it does get a little crazy. So the last series I'm going to touch on right now is going to be it's written by TRICIA O'Malley. It's the Althea Rose mystery series. This series would be classified as a cozy mystery series. I believe there's 7 of them. They are Kindle Unlimited. So Althea Rose is a psychic, and she has a little psychic shop in town where she does psychic readings. And the other half of the shop is owned by her best friend Luna, who is a highly accomplished, skilled white witch. But Althea is always getting in trouble. She has some interesting things around her, and she's constantly dragging Luna into it. Althea has some magic in her, but she doesn't know how to control it, so she's always messing things up, and Luna and some of the other characters are always trying to help her. It's not like fantasy witchy stories. They don't go really, really deep into the witchcraft. It's kind of, it's there, the premise is there, and they do some magic, but it's not, the entire series doesn't revolve around magic. It's not, like I said, it's not a fantasy reading. They're just little, like, they're cozy mysteries. So they're like a light reading mystery, but they're humorous, and Althea gets in a lot of trouble and drags a lot of people through trouble with her. So I don't typically read a lot of fantasy. There's a couple of series I've read that I've enjoyed with witches and witchcraft and vampires and whatnot, but I do enjoy these because they don't lean too hard into it. They just keep it very, very, very light. So, again, I would check it out if you're looking for something light and easy to read. And like, if there's only 7 of those, I think the 8th one comes out in a couple months or next month or something. You're not going to invest a ton of time to get caught up like a series that already has 20 books. So, like I said, they're all a little bit diverse from each other. I would say the Deborah Brown series and the TRICIA O'Malley series are similar to each other. Some people would compare the Deborah Brown series and Madison Weston to the Janet Ivanovich, Stephanie Plum books. I don't necessarily like that comparison. In some ways there's parallels, but it's not a comparison I would really make, but some people do. So if you like Stephanie Plum, you might want to try the Madison Weston ones first. If you're into a little bit more of the fantasy and occult side of things, check out the Althea Rose ones, and check out Kelly Collins if you lean more towards lighter romance. So those are my quick little summer reading suggestions. Like I said, I will get links down in the description for you, and you can check them out from there. If you have any suggestions for me of something you'd like to see me read or get my thoughts on, especially if it's something I can pull from Kindle or Prime Reading, Kindle Unlimited or Prime, let me know. I am working my way through my Dollar Tree pick for June, and it's actually not too bad so far, so I am pleasantly surprised. I do believe my Book of the Month Club that I'm going to review for June should be here today. If not, it won't be here. Well, I guess it could still come tomorrow, so that'll be here. So I'm going to get those 2 read, and I have some more stuff queued up in my Kindle already, but I have, I think, 4 books in my series dropping the 29th, so I'll have a little bit of a backlog of reading to get caught up on. So I'm going to start taking notes on what I've read so I can go over them all. I do have my author spotlight. I have like notes written for everything and images for everything to pop up on the screen like this one, and I am pretty excited about it. I know it's not new, and I know it's not really different to a lot of people, but it is my all-time favorite, longest running, like, what I read. So I'm pretty happy to bring this one up. Some of the author spotlights are going to be new to most of you, and some of them will be old. So that will be coming up Wednesday night. No, Wednesday afternoon. I have to go back and see what time I said I'm going to drop these videos, because that's how organized I am. So I'll be looking forward to that next week. Thank you.